Tonight we get to spend time with a British music legend with a remarkably varied body of work. One who started out making music, I think, in the 70s, but who's responsible with his music partner for a body of work in the 80s that has really been the soundtrack to our lives and still is today. You can't get a radio station, you can't listen to a radio station for very long without hearing a Eurythmics song. So let's celebrate 40 years since Sweet Dreams. Welcome, Dave Stewart.
Thank you very much. A hell of an intro.
Yeah, well, thank you. We do like to try. We're going to talk about lots of things. Your new West End show, for which you wrote the music with Joss Stone, Time Traveller's Wife, which we'll get to. Mm-hmm. But as we sit here now, you're getting close to the UK shows of this 40 years Songbook tour, 40 years since Sweet Dreams.
Yeah.
Which you debuted, I think, the idea for this pre-pandemic, didn't you, at the festival hall?
Exactly. Yeah. See, Nile Rodgers asked me if I would, he was curating Meltdown Festival.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, would you do like the finale show or whatever, all Eurythmics songs and invite guests? And he would play as well. And so I thought, oh, that's quite a good idea. So, but I have to give it a name. So I called it Eurythmics Songbook. And then, very sweet, of Emily Sunday came and sang, and Beverly Knight, and the London Community Gospel Choir. And then I had a great band of musicians, and including this girl called Hannah Kopenberg, a keyboard player who we've done many things since, music things.
And these female musicians with whom you now work, these are remarkable performers. I mean, Vanessa Amorosi, yeah. Most people will know her from a big pop hit, but, an incredible voice. And your daughter, Kier,
yeah.
Chip off the old block then.
Yeah, Kier, she's obviously known Vanessa a long time because I've worked with Vanessa and just actually produced her new album, which is recorded in the studio Al Green recorded in Memphis. Oh. Vanessa's one of the greatest singers in the world, and she's known for that. And Kier and Vanessa get on great. And Kier has a very powerful voice, but an emotional voice. She's Annie's goddaughter as well. So from the age of 5, she'll be sitting on Annie's knee singing There Must Be an Angel or whatever. So, Eurythmic songs to her are just like part of her
DNA. Absolutely. And what a vocal coach to have.
And
as we are 40 years on from Sweet Dreams, just before we play the follow-up, can I ask you, just prior to that, you had the record deal, you were ready to go. What was the feeling like before Sweet Dreams went to radio?
When we were recording Sweet Dreams, the song, there was just the two of us, and there was that electric sort of eureka moment when I got this drum machine, and it was a sort of prototype, and I was tuning it down and experimenting, and I came with that dum, 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 dum. And with still nobody there, we'd made the record, there was just the two of us. But the record company couldn't really hear it as a single at first. So they were releasing other songs, Love Is a Stranger, which obviously is a good single, and The Walk, This Is the House. But it was an American DJ that started playing Sweet Dreams on an import. And that's when everything changed, our life changed, basically.
Love Is a Stranger, spring of 83. Dave Stewart is our guest ahead of next month's dates on Eurythmics Songbook Tour. I love that you're back playing Sunderland Empire.
I love Sunderland Empire.
Well, it's a legendary venue, and there aren't many like it anymore. That really intimate, old style, 2,000 people.
Like Drury Lane kind of thing. I know, it's a beautiful old theatre, and my brother went to see the Beatles there. He was like 4 or 5 years older than me. And I remember he came back, my mum and dad, what was it like? He said, I couldn't hear a bloody thing. It was just, obviously always screaming. But the first time I ever went to Sunderland Empire, my grandmother took me, and they have like what the old-fashioned slipper, which is the bit that goes down towards the stage, so you feel like you're almost leaning on the stage. And it was to see Peter Pan and the sort of, Christmas special or whatever. And of course, never been in a theatre, never seen all this stuff happen on the stage. I saw free play live mind-blowing. You see Free the Band with All Right Now blew up in the Northeast, and I've seen many things there, but
Paul Kossoff playing guitar?
Yeah, Paul Kossoff was playing guitar. And I myself played there, I can't remember when.
Well, a number of times, I'm sure, but 5 years ago maybe you last played
6
there.
years ago, I think, I played there. And I wasn't playing Eurythmics Songbook, I was just playing loads of different songs. And it was fantastic. Yeah. It was a great atmosphere. And Sunderland's changed quite a bit in the last 5 years, and it's loads of amazing things are happening there. The film studios opening up on the banks of the River Wear, and there's lots of great restaurants and places to go, and it's got a great optimistic feeling there.
10th of November is Sunderland Empire, and the other special venue that you're playing next month is the London Palladium on the 17th.
Yeah, which
have you played there before?
Well, I was on stage at the London Palladium sometime this year, so yeah, that's got a similar feeling to Sunderland Empire.
Yes, you know, because you did play the Sheds, those big arenas, but those 2,000-seater, ancient venues that so many people have played. Is there a different kind of atmosphere for you as the guy on stage? Absolutely.
Like in Paris, well, all the theatres I'm playing in Europe and everywhere I ask to be in these kind of places. As you walk on the boards, as they call it, and you know the stuff that's been on. Edith Piaf sang here, or and you go through all of the decades of bands, artists that have appeared on these stages, and they'll be well designed for the audience too.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're a great audience experience and great for the artist. I'd like to play Right By Your Side. Can you recall writing it? And you obviously immediately knew it was very different in tone to what had gone before.
Oh, yeah. Well, you see, the good thing about being, Annie and I being a couple and then living together, not writing any songs together or separately while we're a couple, and then deciding and having the strength to say, we're not going to live together or be a couple, but we're going to be a duo. The whole song then we knew had to be this optimistic but classic Annie right in the middle of the chorus when it goes, because when depression starts to win, I want to be right by your side.
It's still positive though, to be fair.
It's really positive. It's just like there's that, because we always had to be in reality. We refused to go all the way to Disneyland without music.
The conversation tonight is with a British music legend, Eurythmics Dave Stewart. That's Right By Your Side. We'll play you that song that featured Stevie Wonder on harmonica, There Must Be an Angel, when we continue. Greatest Hits Radio with, of course, some of Eurythmics' greatest hits, and some we don't hear quite so often tonight, but there Must Be an Angel, Dave Stewart. Stevie Wonder, great booking.
Well, it's a funny story because, Annie had written this. She played the piano and she sang, No One on Earth Can Feel Like This. And she was saying, I've written this song for Stevie Wonder. I think Stevie Wonder would sing this and if he got it. And I was like, yeah, but you sound great singing that. And what about if we got Stevie Wonder playing the harmonica on it? And then it was, we'll never be able to get that. But we recorded it, and in Paris, we took our little 8-track. People won't understand really how bonkers my attitude was to recording. On that song, There Must Be an Angel, I had to get people to come to this little room, and I wanted an opera singer from the Paris Opera House. So this guy came and sang, and then, let's get a real harp player from the Paris Opera. So the stuff on that record is bonkers if you do analyse each part of it, each element. And then Stevie Wonder on the harmonica, and it was pretty bonkers.
So, To the Time Traveller's Wife just started up at the Apollo Theatre in London's West End. You've had hit musical success before with Ghost. Musical theatre, though, it seems to me, somebody else's story. Isn't it quite prescriptive?
Well, you see, the story gets deconstructed by the actual the person who writes, in musical theatre, you call the script the book.
Yeah.
So the book isn't necessarily like the book or the movie or whatever, and it's deconstructed, and then the director, they then, they interpret it the way it is. Now, you've seen Shakespeare play, and then you've seen Shakespeare interpreted with Leonardo DiCaprio, and a story is basically, if it's a strong story, you can turn it into all sorts of things. And it's so collaborative, the musical genre. I love it because it's amazing things people wouldn't realize are happening. Is, for instance, I might write this song with Joss, it's our favourite song, we think this is the best song in the musical, and all of a sudden that scene's cut out.
Yeah.
Or you're writing a piece of music and it has this wonderful end sort of tale that lends itself, it pushes the narrative into the next scene, but the guy who's doing the all of the scenery goes, hang on a minute, I can't move that out of the way, or the lead actress goes, yeah, but I can't get changed in 17 seconds, I need 28 seconds, and then the woman backstage who's doing all of the costumes goes, I'm giving up, this is impossible, and it's total chaos going on behind the stage. But what's exciting is that every night, 7:30 or whatever, lights go down, and this thing has to happen in real time.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe the complex things that are going on to make that happen.
I haven't seen you in a long while, some memories start to fade, but
One of the many Dave Stewart, Joss Stone songs that you'll enjoy if you go and see The Time Traveller's Wife, which is on now at the London Apollo. Now, Dave, as well as the tour and the musical, it's important to say that you seem to always have a lot going on. It seems to me that you're pretty much making music all the time, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time people don't know about it because I don't mention it, and suddenly it comes out. I've just finished producing and writing Daryl Hall's new album, which
I was
will
going
be
to
out
ask you about him.
Yeah, next year it's coming out, and I wrote and produced Vanessa Amorosi's album with her. That's coming out next month. I have a album coming out that I co-produced and co-wrote a lot of it with a new artist called Otto Ade, who's a brilliant young singer-songwriter from Wales. I have an album coming out I made with these Italian amazing, they're called Mocadelic, and they do the scores for all the TV series like Gomorrah about the mafia. And then I worked with an Italian actress, and I've made that into a movie that's premiering in Rome on October the 19th at the Rome Film Festival. These are just a snapshot of some of the things that are happening, yeah.
So people will be giddy hearing just that quantity of stuff. It reminds me, I once asked Nile Rodgers, of whom you spoke earlier, how did you make so many records in between 78 and 83? He said, we never sleep. Him and Bernard never slept.
Right.
Is that the same with you? Or
I'm completely the opposite to that. I get up at a certain time, have exactly the same thing for breakfast, then I answer a few then I meditate, then I answer a few emails, then I go for a walk or a swim or whatever's available. Yeah. Then I have breakfast, and then between 12:30 and 6:30 I am completely focused on, it could be absolute chaos or it could be focused on something very specific. And at 6:30 I stop dead, say that's it. 7:30 I have a vodka martini.
Oh, I love this
routine.
routine.
8 o'clock I'm having dinner, never talk about what I did in the studio or whatever I was doing, listen to old blues records on vinyl and have a laugh with friends, and that's it. Same thing every day.
Let's play another of those great Eurythmics Songbook songs that you'll celebrate next month on those 2 UK dates. We played Right By Your Side earlier. Here's another one with a different feeling. You Have Placed a Chill in My Heart.
Yeah, You Have Placed a Chill in My Heart. Well, often Annie and I would play that on stage with just acoustic guitar and her, and we worked out a very intense, dynamic way of playing it. Whereas the recording of You Have Placed a Chill in My Heart, that whole album, Savage, it tended to be myself, and I had a programmer called Ula. I'd bought this thing, it's called a synclavier. It was very complicated beast to run. You know, the computer was about the size of a wall, the brain of it, just to get it to work. And I made all of the music on this machine. And now, when I say on this machine, it was the first kind that you could record stuff, like me and this friend of mine, Connie Plank, in Japan, up in the bamboo forest, would be tapping huge bamboo, little bamboo, recording it with a recorder, and then feeding it into the machine. So everything you hear on the record is not from anything real. It's from sounds collected and then turned into sounds that sound like drums. And that's what you did with Your Place to Chill in My Heart.
Today, another legend, Eurythmics' Dave Stewart, and there's more to come. Aretha, Annie and Dave on Sisters are doing it for themselves. Dave Stewart is our guest. There's a good story about that one, isn't there?
Annie came to the studio. Well, we'd already finished making this record. We were in LA. Annie came in and she said, I've just written this poem last night. It is a poem, but it could be a song. And we were in a tiny room, 6 foot by 8 foot, on the side of a studio where there's just a couch, really. And I got a guitar, and I was going doodle-doodle-doom, doodle-doom, and we just started playing it in the room on acoustic guitar and her singing. And the chord, sisters are doing it for themselves, doodle-doodle-doom. On this particular track, I decided to make the biggest sounding shaker, and I got a big tin can, and I put pencils in it, and anything I could find, you know, things out, sugar cubes, everything, and made this. So when we went to meet Aretha down in Detroit, you know, we had the multi-track with us. By the way, the engineer came with us, left us on the plane.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And realised when we arrived at the studio it was a nightmare. Fortunately, the stewardess had seen that it looked important, and he got it back. But so that was the first thing I pushed up in, you know, I put the drum beat and this. Yeah, it was an amazing experience because Aretha took me aside into a tiny room with a upright piano. I thought she was going to talk to me about something, and she just played and sang The Way We Were by Gladys Knight all the way through. And I'm like, okay, I'm from Sunderland and this is happening. And then she started talking about the words and the songs, making sure, you know. And then Annie was amazing, held her own, singing face to face with Aretha, you know, around the mics, as opposed to doing it separately, which must have been terrifying. And it ended up being this amazing track and anthem for women, and to this day it's being used as that.
Let's continue to try and play some songs that aren't always played. It's All Right, Baby's Coming Back.
Yeah, I love the groove of that. In fact, I was just did my first little rehearsal with the girls, you know, for the Eurythmics Songbook band, and I said, let's play this groove just so that we get the feeling, you know, because the bass and my guitar are playing the same, and the groove on the, it's so laid back, but it's like, it's totally like, it could be an Al Green groove or something like that. And we played around with that for about 20 minutes, and it's great. It's like sitting into a really great, comfortable chair.
It's all right, baby.
Thanks again to Dave Stewart. Such a great storyteller about his songs. He just so much loves making music, doesn't he?